What's up,
happening?
people? What's up? What's up? What's
Yeah.
up? It's a great day to be great. Let's be great together on today's live stream, answering your start sit questions for week 2. Hopefully, going to help you win your league in week 2, win your matchup in league 2. We'll talk about some injuries, start sit questions, all the above, all that good jazz. So, is there any player in particular, Badaki, as we're about to get started, that you are monitoring very closely in your leagues?
Um, there's a couple, to be honest.
Yeah,
I guess that kind of brings us to like news. Yeah, I mean, I think of somebody like an Austin Eckler. I know he didn't practice today. I have
sure.
quite a bit of Austin Eckler and what that looks like. Um, you think of Aaron Jones. What is he going to be doing?
Yeah.
I know he didn't practice this week.
hmm
So let's just play as Mark Andrews. I have a ton of Mark Andrews, who I'm also really interested in.
Yep.
So there's a couple of people that I'm definitely monitoring here this week
Yeah.
that I need.
How about how I'm just gonna say this preemptively because I know you and I are not gonna know what to tell people, but how about the Kenneth Gainwell situation? He's out.
Oh my gosh.
And I imagine there's going to be some people asking us if they should start DeAndre Swift or Rashad
Swift.
Penny. This will be very interesting, today's live stream. But
Maybe we should just get that out there right off the bat.
well, I think we learned yesterday that it doesn't matter.
I mean,
Remember
if you're here now,
how many questions we answered yesterday
100%,
about
100%.
who was it about? Garrett Wilson.
It was Garrett Wilson. There's so much. I mean, if you're here now and you have dropped a question about Swift or Penny, as much as information we want to give you, we actually don't know the answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like it
we
will truly be a
don't.
game time thing. Like we will have to wait and see what the team actually tells us.
Yeah.
However, if you were like expecting Swift to be like the guy this week, the comments that Nick Sirianni left this morning were pretty confusing. They were like, yeah, sometimes he'll be the guy, and other times he will be completely uninvolved. That's literally what he said. Like,
I would say
what?
this. I would say this for the people that are going to be drafting Swift or Rashad Penny questions. Don't say should I start like Swift or Penny. Can you give another option?
Give us
Is it
all
Swift?
your options. Yeah.
Exactly. Is it Swift or Brian Robinson? Is it Swift or Raheem Mostert? I need to know all the options to give you the best possible answer. Because if you're just gonna say Swift or Penny, we're not gonna tell you. I mean, honestly, we probably should just skip the question because we don't know. We really don't know.
It's too early to say. Honestly, it's too early to say.
So
all right,
keep that
shout
in
out to the 37 people watching the stream. You guys know how this works. We're going to answer your week 2 start sit questions. If you want your question answered straight away, go ahead and drop a super chat. We will prioritize it. We'll get to your question straight away. Do us a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button. You guys have helped us reach over 100 likes on every stream so far this week. So be a friend, help us grow, and smash that like button as we hopefully help you win your matchup. Okay, what's up, JSC? CD for Debo. Give me CD Lamb, I'm assuming. In a trade, in any league, Dynasty Redraft, I'll take CD Lamb. You're good, Philip. Hey, Wink and Weeds, thank you so much for joining.
Wink and Weeds, 420.
Why is this not
That's
working?
the dispensary.
It's not showing up on the screen. The questions aren't. You see that?
Yeah, I do see that. Did you copy that link?
I did, yeah.
Maybe you should just do a new one. Maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it messed up.
Okay.
But as Zach's doing that,
yeah.
yeah, thank you so much, Wink and Weez. I mean, we really appreciate it, guys. Now you're gonna have that little goat side next to you, little baby goat, and it grows up into like that adult goat, which is pretty awesome. We call it the goat fam here. So let's go to the next one as Zach is still trying to figure that out. Andrew, he says Swift, Sutton, or Kirk full PPR. I like Christian Kirk coming into this week. Let me just pull up. I didn't get my screens ready here. Christian Kirk coming into this week, I think he has a decent matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm willing to start that. I think that's going to be a high scoring game. You kind of expect them to be playing from behind often, in my personal opinion, versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think Christian Kirk is the better start, even though he only had 2 catches last week. It was pretty terrible. I'm going Christian Kirk there.
Okay, this is going to be interesting because this is not working for some reason.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. At least people know. I mean, we'll say their name. Listen out for your name. We won't have the questions in the bottom, but what you can always do is just follow through in the chat as we continue going. Jacob said Eagles defense or Packers. I'm going Eagles. You have to believe in that Eagles defense and what they did last year, and what they did against Christian Kirk last year as well. Kirk Cousins.
Why don't you
excuse
keep
me.
going?
So,
I'm gonna try and figure this out. Keep going.
yeah. No worries. Jacob, he says Monty or Rashad White. Honestly, Jacob, both of these guys are both as must start. But I am going David Montgomery here. He's playing the Seattle Seahawks, who just gave up a significant amount of points. I think the 8th most fantasy points to the running back position, where he played the Rams this past week. So I'm going David Montgomery. Both of these guys should be must starts coming in. Andrew says Jamal Williams, George Pickens, Raheem Mostert, or Kelly if Eckler is out. This one's interesting because the Chargers are playing the team that gave the least amount of points to the running back position, top 2 least amount of points to the running back position this past week, Andrew. If I had to choose in a PPR format, full PPR, I have to go George Pickens, but Jamal is a really good starting opportunity as well. So keep that in mind. I think that is something that you should keep in mind. He's a start of the week this week. He is playing against the Carolina Panthers, who give up the 2nd most fantasy points to the running back position. So that's exactly what I would be doing there. So I will go Pickens and then Jamal if I need to. Lex said Christian Watson or Joshua Kelly or Nico Collins. If Christian Watson plays, you're starting Christian Watson. But if not, I feel a lot more confident if Joshua Kelly in if Austin Eckler doesn't play. Now, if Christian Watson doesn't play and Austin Eckler does play, maybe the best play is to go Nico Collins as full PPR. And we saw what Nico did this past week, led that team in targets. So I'm going with Nico Collins there. Ginger said Hollywood or Nico Collins. This one's interesting. I am going Nico Collins. I know Hollywood is playing against the Giants, who just came off a really, really bad game. But once again, that's not our identity, and I don't trust Josh Dobbs. And honestly, that is a game that I need to go watch back as your game. The Commanders.
I can answer any question you have.
I guess how did Hollywood do? I didn't really pay attention too much to Hollywood this week.
That offense looked awful. And Hollywood and Josh Dobbs have no connection.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to say he's going to be bad, but until Kyler's back, it's rough out in these streets.
It's going to be rough. So I need to go. That's one game I haven't watched. I actually rewatched the Jags and Colts game last night. So that was that was pretty exciting to see with that. So yeah, I'm going Nico Collins there. JSC, Deshaun Watson or Anthony Richardson this week. I'm going Deshaun Watson personally, but Anthony Richardson does have a decent matchup against the Houston Texans, who, probably to give up the most points to the to the quarterback. Obviously, with Lamar Jackson, he didn't have the best game this past week, but you have to go your superstar in Deshaun Watson there.
I am going Anthony Richardson. I'm going Anthony Richardson there. I think he had a very impressive start to his career there, and super safe on the ground. What he can do on the ground, we saw the rushing ability. So for me, it would be Anthony Richardson there in Week 1, and also he faces the Houston Texans, which thanks for the donation, Adrian. He faces the Houston Texans, who typically give a lot of points to running backs. Anthony Richardson's probably the running back on the goal line. I'm going to go with A-Rich this week, even though it's very close. In fact, Anthony Richardson's my quarterback 9 in my rankings, right behind Justin Fields this week. That's how confident I am in him. So that's what I would be doing.
He did look great.
He did, yeah. We did receive a super chat. So let me try and find that super chat.
It says it's from Adrian, but Adrian did not put anything
Adrian,
in the chat.
it's the question down below, yeah.
Yeah, it says, hey guys, is Madison, no worries, take your time and I'll read it. It says, hey guys, hey guys, is Madison and Rashad White too much for Kamara, or is it too little? Really don't know the value or market for Kamara. I feel like he's going to be really good on the return. This is what I would say, Adrian. I personally, and maybe Zach and I will see this wrong. I personally would have Alvin Kamara over Alexander Madison, and very close to my rankings with Rashad White. What we saw from Alexander Madison this past week, I don't think was the best representation of what he's going to be doing throughout the whole season. But I do believe Alvin Kamara will have the higher ceiling when coming back because Kendre Miller is still not ready. And I think if Alvin Kamara is back before Kendre Miller gets onto the field, that's going to hinder him a lot because Kamara is going to immediately eat into all those opportunities. So I would rather have Alvin Kamara over Alexander Mattison, but Rachaad White, I think that is closer than we think, in my opinion. But I will always take Alvin Kamara though. But it is too much. If the question is Alexander Mattison and Rachaad White too much for Kamara, I do believe that's a bit too much in my opinion. I think I would do a swap, just a Alvin Kamara for Alexander Mattison.
I'd be willing to do like Rachaad White for Kamara, but outside of that, I think you're giving up too much myself. You know, again, we have to keep in mind week 1 won't look exactly like week 2, you know.
Exactly. So always gotta remember, and that's why I'm giving Alexander Mattison some grace as well. But doesn't have the best matchup.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. Let's get to our next question.
Yeah, next question.
Actually,
here.
What if I did this? Sorry, I need to.
No. Yeah, figure out what you have to do. I'll continue to go with questions. Zane says, should I put all my fab on JMO in redraft, or would you pick him up at all? If so, how much? Zane, personally, I'm assuming that's Jameson Williams. At the moment, we said this all off season. If you're gonna pick him up, I wouldn't waste any fab on him personally. I would just try and pick him up now, put him on your team, and he's gonna waste a bench spot. But if you really want to do that, I don't know if you know, Zach, but the stream was lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's on my side.
Trying to figure
I don't know if it's on my side or your side. This is what I would say. Pick him up the week before, 2 weeks before, because I think a lot of people are going to be using some fab to pick him up. Jake Ferguson or Zach Ertz, JSC. I'm going Jake Ferguson. I'm pretty sure Zach will say the same. Start Pickens this week. Daniel Macy said, depends on your options. I would rather be starting George Pickens personally, but all depends on your options. He's playing the Cleveland Browns. Technically, they didn't give up too many points to the wide receiver position, but that's really because it was raining, and I'm pretty sure you saw that game, Macy. So I will be starting George Pickens. Lexi, I have the same exact situation and doing Anthony Richardson. That's fair. Tommy said, if Aaron Jones doesn't play, should I play Dylan over Brandon Cooks in my flex? I personally will be starting Brandon Cooks. I do believe AJ Dillon could be a trap play this week. I don't know if he's going to get the same opportunities or anything, or the same opportunities that I'm envisioning Aaron Jones would do. And I don't know if he can outwork and produce the type of work that Aaron Jones
I would
put up,
start
obviously.
Dylan over Cooks if Aaron Jones doesn't play, though. I mean, that to me would be a no-brainer based off the touches.
Sure, I think I like Brandon Cooks coming into this week.
Brandon Cooks also dealing with his own injury, so I mean you have to keep that in mind. I think mind as well. Dylan is the best play there, purely based off volume.
Yeah, so obviously keep in mind if Brandon Cooks is not 100%, then yeah, start AJ Dillon.
Yeah. So it looks a little different today, guys. Sorry, I'm trying my best to get your questions on the screen. It looks a little different. The bot that we had is not working for some reason. The AI is taking over. Did you guys see the Chargers game where they had the bots in there? I was like, what the hell is it? Why? This is not normal.
What
you
bots?
Didn't see the AI robots at the Chargers game?
No, like in the actual, like they had like
they were like in seats like humans, like AI robots.
You're kidding me.
With like
that is some
human
that's some
flesh
weird
on.
Shit.
It was weird.
No, that's weird.
I think it was a promo for a movie. Anyway,
I thought the AI robot was like serving drinks or popcorn or some shit.
No,
like
they
that.
were enjoying the game.
They were enjoying. They were processing the game for the first time.
Anyway, do us a favor. Go ahead and drop a like, guys, to show some support on the stream. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. And drop your questions. We'll go in order. And if you want your question answered straight away, drop a super chat and we'll get to it straight away. So what is the next question here then? Is it you're telling me Swift is a must start? Nope, we're not telling you that.
No, we're not telling you that. Do I drop Roscoe for Devon if I can't roster both? I personally would keep Roscoe, Brendan.
Same, but both should be rostered.
Yeah, Casey heads up says, heads up boys, both Hawks start tackles. Both Hawk starting tackle Cross and Luka is out. They went down on half last game and Hawks scored opponents with them were a mess, you know. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly why, Casey, I just picked up in our home league the Lions defense. Because I saw that and I think that offense is going to be struggling, especially Aiden Hutchinson, where what's his name on your Chiefs was like, I feel like was jumping
Jawan
offside,
Taylor?
or Jawan Taylor was going freaking false starts every single game. I don't think that's gonna happen this game, so we'll wait and see what happens.
We have a super chat, so let's get to that super chat. Young
you so much.
Visionary.
Here we go.
Thank you for the super chat, man. It's he says quarterbacks. Man, I wish this would pop up on the screen. This is annoying.
No, it's okay. I'll read it. It says quarterbacks Lamar, running backs Josh Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, wide receivers Hill, Deontay, MT, flex is Monty, tight ends Goddard, bench is Spears. Okay, what is thoughts on squad? Okay, it's thoughts on squad.
It's a good team.
So far, what I see, it's a great team.
Obviously, you can't play Deontay, right?
Yeah. You can't play Deontay this week, but I mean, MT can definitely fit into that wide receiver too. And
what Jefferson does he have on his bench? What Jefferson?
I'm assuming that's Van Jefferson, their young visionary.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And who would I be starting in place of Deontay there?
I probably would put. Is it crazy to say Tajay? Oh wait, you have to start a wide receiver, don't you? Because you're already flexing a running back. There's got to be a better flex option on the waiver wire. Really,
there has to be. I mean, did you get a Gus Edwards there, visionary? Is Puka? I doubt Puka's available. Is Puka's there? Is Joshua Kelly there? If Austin Eckler goes out, is Nico Collins on the waiver wires? I don't know. Like, there should be somebody else that you could potentially pick up. Yeah. I don't want to start Deion Jackson. I don't know if I want to start. I don't want to start Van Jefferson and Zach Charbonnet. It could be a little bit hard if you already have Kenneth Walker starting. So, but overall, a decent squad there, visionary.
Agreed. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. So the next question.
Next question is Tommy. He says Sam Laporta or Hunter Henry. I would be going Hunter Henry. As much as I love Sam Laporta, this is going to be, you expect this game to be a high scoring game as well. And Mac Jones look good.
Yeah.
Look good. Actually, if Hopkins is out, I need a flex choice. Pickens, Addison, Algier. This one's interesting because I know James Bradbury is out. There's a couple injured Eagles in the secondary. I don't know if I want to take the chance with Addison or Pickens.
Yeah,
I feel like the safest play is Pickens.
To be honest,
I think the safest play is Pickens because Deontay is out, and I think they're going to be peppering.
Okay.
At least the hope is that they pepper Pickens with targets there.
Yeah. The way I look at it is there's only one wide receiver you really need to focus on now defensively. Yep. And Cleveland showed that they were a very good defense last week. They'll get a lot of pressure on Kenny, and Kenny kind of melted under pressure last week. So I would go Addison myself, but it is close. I like Denzel Ward, and I think Denzel Ward's probably going to be on Kenny Pickett this week, or George Pickens this week.
George Pickens, yeah. That makes sense. Finger says Kincaid or Njoku. I think we will both say Njoku there.
Yes. Yeah, we both go Njoku. Obviously not a good week one, but he'll be better.
Yeah. Remember, it was raining in that game. Casey, all wrong is AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. Good evening, Donald. How you doing? Start Swift or Herbert. I would go Khalil Herbert there.
Yeah.
So
unless like Penny remains inactive, like we expect him to be active this week, but if like Penny's inactive and it's even then it could be Boston Scott, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I think you go Herbert.
Yeah, I would go Herbert as well. Should I trade Kittle and Olave for Waller and Mixon? I think it just depends on what you need there, Brandon. Do you need to tier up, or do you need to get a running back? I'm assuming maybe you had J.K. Dobbins and you need to go get another running back, or maybe you had somebody that's injured. Really depends on who you need. If I had to choose one here, I'm going with Kittle and Olave. I feel like Olave just has a higher upside.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on his needs. That's hard to answer without knowing the team. Akers, Kyron, or Charbonnet this week, I'd be rolling with Kyron. I mean, until they show us something different, I don't see a reason to trust Akers over Kyron.
That's fair. I'm still going Akers there, but I could be wrong. We'll see.
Yeah.
What's happening, Cat for Life? Akshay, you already answered that question. No, Akshay has a different one. It's Hopkins out. Choose one. Gibbs, Lockett, Garrett Wilson, Kendra Bourne. I mean, all these guys should be started there. I mean, outside of Kendra, in our opinion. But yes, I will be going Jahmyr Gibbs. there as well. Casey also added to the Hawks. Okay, that's fair. Lex said Drake London, Christian Watson, Jerry Judy, Rashad Bateman. If Christian Watson plays, I'm going Christian Watson. If he doesn't play, if Christian Watson and Jerry Judy doesn't play, it has to be Drake London.
Does it? Does it have to be?
Because
you're in two low volume offenses potentially, or you, like London and Bateman to me are two players who are not going to get a lot of targets most likely. I'd rather be a part of the Ravens offense, I think. Let me double check my rankings there, because I mean at least Bateman got over 3 targets.
Yeah.
Over 1
Once
target.
again,
but yeah, I think you're right though. I would
believe-
go London over Bateman, but ideally you go Christian Watson. If Christian Watson's not available, ideally you go Judy. If Judy's not available, then London. That's tough.
Yeah, I'm giving. I said this yesterday, guys. I'm giving London some grace. I don't envision this team not targeting Drake London only one time in a whole game again. That's what
if they're winning and they're up in the game, I envision it. But
absolutely.
Depend on what happens.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Donald said DJ Moore, Dotson, or Godwin. I'm going DJ Moore. I'm not sure where Zach will go there.
Ooh, that's a good question. It would be very close between Godwin and DJ Moore, but yes, I am going DJ Moore. Got some hate for it in the video this week. DJ Moore is one of my starts of the week. I'm going back, like you said. I'm giving DJ Moore and Justin Fields 1 week of grace. And if they're booty cheeks this week again, then we know that we can't start them. But I like the matchup. I like where they could potentially bounce back this week at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gave up a ton of points to wide receivers in week 1. You know, it wasn't just Jefferson. Jefferson went off, but Jordan Addison was great. TJ Hawkinson was great. And even KJ Osborne got involved. So if DJ Moore can't do it versus the Bucs, then it's time to panic.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs gave the 3rd most fantasy points to the wide receiver position in week 1, so
yeah,
I'm going there. Adrian, I think we already answered this question.
Yep.
Space. Is this a team grade or is this a?
I think he wants us to set his entire lineup.
Okay. We're not doing that today here, brother. If you have any other questions, I mean,
just like friendly reminder, look at all the questions in the chat, guys. We want to get to as many people as possible. And try and make your questions include context, but relatively precise. Like we can't set your entire lineups for you. I mean, geez, do we? I just feel like if we do this, we're gonna take time away from someone else ultimately.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, leave a comment. We'll try and get back to it. Space Ghost. Ask us a specific question. Like I'm not gonna tell you to start Bijan Robinson, right? You know that. Ask us a specific question. We had a super chat just then from AK. He says, which 2 to start between Dotson, White, and Kenneth Walker? Okay, so between Dotson, White, and Kenneth Walker and Pickens. So you have to start 2. Kenneth Walker for me. And then I think I would go with Rashad White. Because I really like his matchup this week.
Yeah, Rashad White's one of my must-starts coming into this week.
Yeah, we'll find out a lot about who we can't or can't trust after a 2-week sample size. I'm not willing to give up on players after 1 week, so, except London because it was drastic. But then again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on London.
Yeah.
There are certain scenarios where I'm like, yeah, I'm not starting a player, but in most cases, I'll give a team grace. So thank you for the super chat, AK. Appreciate you. Okay, what was the next question?
Well, we're going back to AK. Says, is there where I start Salvon Ahmed? I mean, I don't think you can personally. There has to be somebody better. I mean, if I'm thinking about starting another running back, I'm thinking of like a Roscoe. I'm thinking of a Kyron Williams. I'm thinking of anyone else outside of him personally to start. I'm not sure if Zach would agree, but that's what I would say there.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah. There's a world, but it's not a bright one.
It just depends on what
not a fun world,
your team looks like.
There is a world.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, appreciate you. Hey guys, wasn't able to get Puka, but I did get Christian Kirk off of waiver wires. Yeah, that I love Christian Kirk. That's perfect for, and you drop Juju. I'm happy with that. I think we'll both
Christian
say
Kirk
that
off
as
waivers
well.
is great. He's going to be better. Obviously, it's concerning. I don't know that he has the upside that some people had maybe thought this year, but he's going to be better than he was in week 1.
Failure said Puka, Rashad White, Addison Pierce. I would go Puka. It's hard not to start Puka coming the game that he had.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm releasing a wide receiver rankings video later. Actually, in your guys' morning, I have Puka ranked as my wide receiver 28. I think some people are not giving Puka the credit that he deserves after week 1. 15 targets, making history, setting records. And then I think some people are just over exaggerating, like sending first round picks in Dynasty for him, right? Like there's like no middle ground, I feel. He's my wide receiver 28. And between the options, Puka, Rashad White, Addison Pierce, yeah, flex 15-man PPR. I actually think that Dameon Pierce might be the best answer here. One of my sits of the week last week, he goes up against the Houston Texans. Texans have been giving up a lot of points to running backs. We saw that last week. Justice Hill got 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins looked great before he was out. Gus Edwards was super efficient. So, yeah, my answer would probably be Dameon Pierce there.
Yeah, I didn't see Pierce. I think I just said Puka, Rashad White, Addison. I would be going Dameon Pierce as well.
Yep.
I mean, he is one of my starts of the week as well. Colts gave up the 8th or 7th most fantasy points to the running back position. So,
hey, by the way, 100 people watching the stream, 36 likes. Can you guys do us a massive favor? We're going to do our best to get through every single possible question we can today. All we ask is that you go ahead and smash that like button. Can we get to 100 likes? With your help, the math checks out. You guys have helped us reach 100 likes on plenty of live streams this last couple weeks. So go ahead and absolutely obliterate that like button right now. Let's get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get those numbers up.
We appreciate you.
Anyway, if you know,
here we go. Joey, James Cook over Rashad White. Both of these guys coming into this week are must starts here. But if I had to choose one, I would be going Rashad White based off this matchup. But James Cook, a phenomenal start coming into this week.
Yeah, and James Cook, I'll say, like, I was pleasantly surprised by the amount of opportunities he got. But it would be Rashad White here for me too.
Yeah, I would agree. Can only roster 4 running backs.
Oh shit! I just pinned something.
Yeah, you did.
This is a mess. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Don't stress.
Next question.
I mean, you're doing all right. Carlos, can only roster 4 running backs. My options are, which 4 would you keep? Miles Sanders, Warren, Kyron Williams, and McKinnon. That's what I would do.
Okay, I'm going to trust you. Brady says, if Eckler is out, would you start Joshua Kelly over James Conner? Yes. If Eckler's out, I would start Joshua Kelly over a lot of players, to be honest.
Completely agree. And you probably see that. And I'm doing the running back, must start running backs coming into this week. So we'll definitely talk about that coming up here. Royer, what is the question here? So it's a trade question. 10 team.
Someone offered me A.J. Brown and Gibbs for Jefferson. It's a 10-team league, and a 10-teamer, I'm not really... his running backs are Jonathan Taylor. Man, his running backs are putrid, actually. That would genuinely help his team out a lot.
Someone offered me A.J. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs for Justin Jefferson. I'm doing that if I need him.
I think I am, because if you had good running backs, I probably would say no. But, I mean, this dude is probably starting Khalil Herbert and Charbonnet, if I'm reading this right, or Dalvin Cook. So, yeah, I would take that deal. All right, Pixo says, I have Herbo and Keenan Allen, Gibbs and Sun God. Should I break out one of these stacks? Break one of these stacks. Someone offered me Alvin Kamara for Keenan. No way. No way I'm sending Keenan Allen away for Alvin Kamara. I mean, you can get out of a stack, but only if it's a good offer. You know, that's not a good offer, I would say.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I would agree there.
Someone dropped DJ Moore in Cap for Life's League.
Wow.
Damn. You know what's so funny, dude, is we release these videos and we talk about like potential trade options and values, and and people in the comments be like, no one's doing this, no one's overreacting. It's like, yes, people are all the time. What do you mean? It happens every year. This is a classic overreaction.
Classic. Unlucky. Space Ghosts, if not those going for Gainwell, Komet, or Puka. Gainwell, Komet, or Puka.
Puka.
Puka. Yeah, you start Puka. Jacob says Mike Evans or Rashad White. I'm going Rashad White.
Oh, that's a good one, man. That is a good one. I think I'm rocking with Mike Evans. I mean, he got 8 targets last week.
Yeah, I mean,
versus Chicago. I think I'm going with Mikey Evans there.
He's one of my sell highs that I brought in this video. I just don't see the consistency coming out of Mike Evans, that target share coming out week in and week out. And I think there's going to be a lot of inconsistencies with Mike and Chris Godwin. I think one week is going to be Mike Evans, the next week's going to be Chris Godwin, then Mike Evans, and then Chris Godwin. Or just not know who we're going to start here. But I think Rashad White has the safest floor, where Mike Evans has the higher ceiling. So that's what I would say there, Jacob. Patrick Mahomes start 2. Terry, Kirk, Pittman, and Dobbs. Terry has a matchup I don't want, so I'm not starting him. Kirk, Dobbs, Pittman. Why does this feel like deja vu right now? I feel like we had this conversation before. Kirk, Pittman, Dobbs. I am going Christian Kirk, and I'm going Pittman. Even though I did bring Pittman as a sell high coming into this week, he does have an extra week going against the Houston Texans, who gave up a good amount of points to the wide receiver position this past week. I think it was like top 10, top 15 or something like that. Not top 10. I think it was just a decent amount of points to the wide receiver. So give me Kirk and Pittman.
Yeah, I would say if Watson doesn't play, it would be Dobbs and Pittman for me. Mm-hmm. And if Watson doesn't play, I'm still going McLaurin over Christian Kirk and Pittman. But Pittman is the one, oddly enough, that I am the most confident in starting of those names. So, yeah, we did just get a super chat, so let's go ahead and answer that straight away. Where is the super chat here?
It says not Zach. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. We appreciate you. Do I keep Kenneth Gainwell on IR? And yes, we would keep Kenneth Gainwell on IR if you can put him there, which you probably
definitely. Gainwell shouldn't be on waivers, not after they gave him that many opportunities when he was healthy. And then Kittle or Laporta. I think we both say Kittle, right?
Yeah, Kittle has to be.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident in both of those answers. Thank you for your super chat. If you guys don't know, super chats will get answered straight away. Otherwise, we will be going in order to answer your questions. So if you want your question answered straight away, you know how that is done. Someone says dropping DJ Moore is insane. Yeah, I agree. Eagles, Packers, or Giants D. Eagles, Packers, or Giants. Eagles, Packers, Giants. I'll go Eagles versus Kirk Cousins. He kind of, I'm not gonna say he melts versus the Eagles, but he was awful last year. So maybe it's redemption tour for him. But yeah, I'll go Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles as well. What about Poo? I love that. Daniel Macy said, yes, you're starting him, by the way, if you do. Daniel Macy says start Sky Moore or Rashid Shaheed. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a fair question.
I think it is a fair question because of how.
I just looked at my rankings. And I was like, where do I have these guys ranked? I genuinely, Macy, have them ranked back to back. I have Shaheed ahead. Shaheed faces the Carolina Panthers, and this is where context is important, because if you look at the amount of points given to wide receivers last week, the Panthers gave up the fewest points to wide receivers. What's the context, though? They played the Atlanta Falcons, a team that targeted their wide receiver one time, right? So the context is important. JC Horn's not going to be playing. I'll go Rashid Shaheed here, but it's very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if either way it went. Both tier 7 guys for me. Both players that I don't love starting, but understand why we have to choose one. I would go Shaheed.
Yeah, I would agree there as well.
Okay, next
Richard
one.
Carr week 2. Yep. We going Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
I would go Anthony Richardson. Hunter, we answered that. Hunter Henry.
Yes,
I know
Hunter
gross,
Henry.
But who do I start? Akers, Gibbs, McKinnon, Hill, Roscoe. Which Hill is this?
Justice.
Hill, not BJ, Justice Hill. Um,
This would be Rashawn.
Gibby is.
I don't think we can start Rashawn yet
No,
because
is this Gibbs,
all that.
though? Like,
I think Gibby is Antonio Gibson. I don't think that's.
it would
Do
be
you think
Jahmyr
that's
Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs?
I wouldn't. I don't think it would be Jahmyr Gibbs, but just wanted to clarify. I don't love starting any of these guys, but I'm still rocking with Cam Akers.
Oof. Versus the Niners, dude. No work in the air.
Yeah, you know what?
That does
I
not
keep
seem
forgetting.
like a
I
good
keep
idea.
forgetting he playing the Niners. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting he playing the Niners. I don't want to start anyone playing the Niners.
For me, I don't think there's a good option here, and I think he's aware of that. So let's go ahead and ride the coats of Rashawn Johnson then. I mean, my second option would be McKinnon, honestly, because I think they'll be more involved. But yeah, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and rock with Rashawn Johnson there.
I would say that as well. I would also say Justice Hill. We saw last week when J.K. Dobbins went out, Gus was going all the way down with the ball, and then Justice Hill finds the end zone twice.
Yeah.
Is that a continual trend that's going to happen week in and week out? Don't think you should start him, but it's good that you have Justice Hill there.
Yeah,
So
I
keep that
agree.
in mind.
Okay, so the next question is from Navin, but we have a super chat, so we'll get to your question, Navin. But first, we have a super chat. So shout out to AR Cruz. Thank you for the super chat, man. He says, PPR drop Gabe Davis for Elijah Moore and Nico Collins. Ooh, this is a fun one to answer. Yes, absolutely drop Gabe Davis for Elijah Moore. We think he's going to be better. What I will say, if Nico Collins is out there on my waiver wires too, I need Nico Collins on my team. 11 targets in week 1. 11 targets.
Nico Collins?
Only
Just the
5
guy?
receivers had more targets in week 1. So
Just the guy.
both of those players should be rostered. I prefer them both over Gabe Davis, but I'll go Elijah Moore because I think, there will be better days ahead for Elijah.
Yeah, completely agree. I actually also would say that Gabe Davis is a good stash. I think he can have a bounce back game. Coming
Sounds like a
into this
10-man
week.
league, though,
Yeah, it does sound like a 10-man league, but give me Elijah Moore. I love Elijah Moore. You guys know that.
So thank you for the super chat, AR. Really appreciate you, man. Best of luck. Guys, if you want your questions answered straight away, super chat, again, is the way to go.
There we go.
Outside of that, we will go in order. The next question is
Navin.
Navin. Here we go. We made it.
Yeah, what value does Jordan Love have as a trade piece in a 12-man 2 flex? I'm looking at shipping him away to get Geno starting. To get him with Geno starting, and don't know what value is good as a return.
So I think if this is a 1 quarterback league, just my experience in a 1 quarterback league, I'm not sending you anything for really
As
any
a quarterback.
quarterback outside of like the elite guys. Like if it's a 1 quarterback league, I don't care that you have Jordan Love. I can stream Matthew Stafford. I can stream Dak Prescott. I can stream Derek Carr. It does not faze me at all. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy. So if it's a 1 quarterback league, then it doesn't matter. Now, if it's Superflex, then there is a lot of trade value out there, right? Because Superflex is completely different. I think if it's Superflex, you could look at like getting like a Michael Pittman in return, for example, maybe a DJ Moore, Mike Williams, maybe a Garrett Wilson if people are concerned. Amari Cooper might be too much, or so that it just depends, I guess, on the context.
Yeah, just depends on the context there. Thank you for the super chat here, Alan.
Okay, so we have to keep in mind Travis is the next one after Alan.
Yeah.
He did drop a super chat.
You know what you should do? What you should do is, instead of going up and down, just stay there, and I can read the super chat to you.
Okay.
If you want.
I just wanted it to be shown on the screen for the people.
Okay,
who
that's fair.
donated.
That's fair. It says full PPR. Thank you so much, Alan, once again. Full PPR, flex Jordan Addison or Puka Nacua.
Yeah,
I'm going
good
Puka
question.
there.
Good question. I have them
it is a
back to
good
back in my rankings. I could see this going either way, but I'll go ahead with and chase the Puka game. We will find out if it's real or if it's not. What I will say is 15 targets is nothing to laugh at, And he looked great. And the good news, if you have Puka Nacua, is he did not play Cooper Kupp's position. He played 70% out wide. So they moved him around, but it was mostly not in the slot, which means that they had a game plan for him regardless. Obviously, I'm not saying he's going to have 15 targets when Cooper Kupp's on the field, but without Cooper Kupp, he looks like the clear number one guy there. And Addison obviously faces, you know, the Eagles secondary.
The Eagles, yeah.
So does,
which is going to
you
be
know,
a bit tough.
good secondary for Puka too to face against. But anyway, I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Travis Unlimited, would you rather have a Monra or Devontae Adams even trade? I personally would rather have a Monra long term. I'm not sure about Zach.
Same. Okay. I mean, I had them ranked that way before the year, but still very close.
Yeah.
Puka or Addison, we actually just answered that one.
Yeah, which is great. So we don't have to answer that. Ethan, full PPR pick 2. Flowers, Monty Pickens, Jamal Williams. I think Jamal Williams is a great start this week.
This be Flowers and Monty for me.
Yeah, but it is going to be Flowers and Monty as well. That's what I would say. What's up, fellas? Happened to Lazy Bone. He says Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson, or Chig. I'm going Jake Ferguson coming into this week.
That's, you know, that's a good question.
I like Laporta.
I think I am going Sam Laporta. I will go Sam Laporta there. I have a lot of confidence in him after what we saw in that first game. I think his role will only grow. And, you know, I have to say, it looks like I could be wrong on his value in year one. Not long term, but in year one, as a rookie tight end, he might break the mold versus Seattle. I'll go with Laporta there.
Yeah, I like both of them, by the way. So I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I'm just going with Jake Ferguson, especially if Brandon Cooks is dealing with injuries and he doesn't play or whatever the case may be. Jake Ferguson can see a good opportunity here.
Hey guys, 115 people watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Go ahead and smash that like button. Help us get to 100 likes. Currently 25 likes away. If everyone's watching and everyone hits the like button right now, we will get to 100. The math does check out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're live streaming as many days as we possibly can. Drop your questions. If you want them answered straight away, drop a super chat. Okay, next question from Jorge. 12-team PPR flex options are P. Ryan, Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, considering Johnson out and Prime. Okay, what are you thinking here?
Sorry, I just lost the comments. I'm trying to find it again. So
team. The options are P. Ryan, Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson. I don't know if Brandon Cooks plays.
If Brandon Cooks plays, that's what I would say.
If Brandon Cooks plays, I would agree. I would go Brandon Cooks. If Brandon Cooks does not play, then I would probably be more interested in Samaje Perine. You know, crazily enough.
Okay.
Why does this keep doing this? So annoying.
Yeah, something just happened to me with the chat, so I wonder if it's a YouTube thing or I don't know what's happening with you, but for me, I just lost like my whole place and I can't get back. I can't go all the way back up to like the most recent question. Like I got cut off there.
Yeah, so YouTube's tripping today a little bit.
You might have to lead us because I can't go all the way back up. Like the next question I see is after AK's super chat, which is which two should we start between Dotson, White, and Kenneth Walker? Okay. I'm pretty far. Unless we pass that.
Let's go to the latest super chat, which is from Jason. Sorry. Jason says, should I drop Mostert for A-Chain and Ahmed, or one of don't drop Mostert, or one of Hubbard, McKinnon, Gibson, Clyde. Okay, so don't drop Mostert, because keep in mind he's a starter if he's healthy, and if he isn't playing this week, you'll be able to put him on your IR. But I would be comfortable dropping, let's say like Hubbard, McKinnon, and probably, actually, instead of McKinnon, let's go Clyde. Hubbard, Clyde, I would be comfortable dropping those guys for A-Chain or Ahmed, if that's the question. But either way, you shouldn't be dropping Raheem Mostert. He's a starter when he's healthy, so...
Yeah, I think I would agree there. I don't want... It's kind of tough because all these guys are injured. What's going to happen with A-Chain? Is he going to play? If Raheem's going to play? If Raheem doesn't play, right? I think there's so many questions when it comes down to that backfield.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Let's see here. All right. The next question, we actually just got another super chat, so we'll answer that one. Next question here. There it goes. Trade James Conner for DeAndre Hopkins. Running backs are Pierce, Monty, and Jay Williams. Wide receivers are JJ, Diggs, Puka. Okay, D-Hop didn't practice today. 10 team. Trade James Conner for DeAndre Hopkins. Running backs are Pierce, Monty, Jay Williams.
And yeah, is that? I wonder if that's Jamal Williams or Javonte Williams. I think either. If that's Jamal.
I think I'm keeping Conner either way.
I wouldn't be confident in that, but if that's Javonte, I feel confident to make that trade. That's what I would say.
Yeah,
I'm happy to get D-Hop if that is Javonte Williams. If that's Jamal, I'm not too confident in that.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping James Conner either way. He had an insane amount of usage, like, we were kind of predicting on my guy this year, and a lot of that was based off volume. So yeah, I would be keeping James Conner here. Washington's rush defense was actually really good last year, and they showed that again here in week 1. They were top 5 against running backs last year. They showed that they're a formidable group again in week 1. So there'll be better days ahead for James Conner. Okay, thank you for the super chat. We'll go ahead and answer the next question, which is from Dylan. He says, "What's up, homies? Puka or Elijah Moore, and Najee or Joshua Kelly?"
This one's tough because it's hard to go against Puka, but Elijah Moore is my guy. I still love the targets Elijah Moore got. A primetime game. This one's so tough.
This would be easy for me. Puka and Kelly if he plays. If Kelly doesn't play, Puka and Najee. This is an easy one for me.
Yeah, I would say the same thing with the running backs. But the wide receiver, Puka and Elijah Moore, probably have to go with Puka. But Elijah Moore is very close, Dylan, for me.
Yeah. Keep the Sun God. Is Zach Moss a trap play this week? I would say most Colt running backs are going to be a trap play every week. But if you don't have a better option, then you can play him. I just think it comes down to what your options are rather than is he a bad play? Thank you for the question though. Okay, next question is from Isaac. He says, "I just got a trade offer. They want me to give Miles Sanders and T. Higgins for Ken Walker." No, I'm not.
I wouldn't do that.
There's not a format out there where I would take that trade.
Agreed.
Zay Jones or Brandon Cooks? That's a good question. I think I'm actually going Zay Jones there. But it's very close. I need to honestly.
I think if Brandon Cooks plays, I'm playing Brandon Cooks. I just think that production that Zay got, it's not something I believe is going to be consistent week in and week out. And we didn't see much from Brandon Cooks because of how they were up early and they're going to continue to run, and it was raining. So I think that was a bit of a skewed game.
Yeah, I hear you. I'll have Brandon Cooks. I'll rock with you with Brandon Cooks there. I think he will be more involved. But I am the opposite of you. I do think Zay Jones is real. Zay Jones is real. He's here to stay, and it's going to be upsetting for people who love Christian Kirk, But I would go Brandon Cooks this week. Can you pick my running back starters week 2? Eckler. Well, look, come on, Adrian. If Eckler plays, you're playing Eckler, right? If he doesn't, then it's Montgomery, Rachaad White, or Madison, or Kelly.
For me, if Eckler plays, you play Eckler and Monty. And Eckler doesn't play, I feel comfortable starting Monty and Rachaad White. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
Kelly is close though.
I'm fine with that too. Donald saw the AI robots. Love that we were on the same page there. Jalen's T YouTube, it says, "I traded away T and Ramondre for Josh Jacobs, Cam Akers, and DJ Moore. Did I pull the trigger too early? I traded away T Higgins, essentially, and Ramondre for Josh Jacobs, Cam Akers, and DJ Moore."
Look, I think it's a good. I don't think it's a terrible trade.
No, I think it's pretty even.
I think it all depends what Cam Akers is going to turn out to be.
Yeah, I wish Cam Akers was someone else. I'm not like Badak. I'm completely out on Akers. I know Badaki's not, but I mean, I don't want any Cam Akers. So I would rather that have been a Zach Charbonnet, or Rashawn Johnson, a Raheem Mostert, Tyler Algier. I just don't want Cam Akers, but I don't think you got like destroyed in that trade or anything.
No, completely
okay,
agree.
we did have a super chat, so we'll get to that.
Yeah,
The super
Evan.
chat is from Evan. Evan, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. He says, I traded Zay Jones and Pittman for Higgins. I have Fields, Goff, CMC, Mixon, Jay Cook, Olave, Dotson, Deontay Johnson, Bigsby. Okay, 12-man PPR. So he traded Zay Jones and Michael Pittman for T. Higgins. And in this scenario, I'm happy to do that. I do think
100%.
Zay Jones is going to be better than people realize. Pittman clearly is going to be better than I realized. And I might have missed there. We'll have to see. It's only one game. But overall, I still prefer T. Higgins long term. So I'll take the quality over the quantity is how I'm viewing it.
Yeah, I completely agree there.
Yeah, so like the trade, man. Well done. Let me see if I can move this up for.
I still can't scroll all the way back, all the way down. It's like my latest one, the one I can go up to is like Lane Blaze. Says is Luke Musgrave on my radar.
Okay.
That's the most recent.
Well,
one.
we
So
actually just got another super chat, so let's answer that before we go back
Jason,
up.
thank you so much. He said start 2 of White, James Cook, Kelly, Zach Moss. Okay, let's start at the running back position. If Austin Eckler doesn't play, I'm going Joshua Kelly and Rashad White.
Agreed.
But if Austin Eckler doesn't play, I'm really confident starting.
If he does, right?
Yeah, if Austin Eckler does play, I'm starting Rashad White and James Cook. Both of those guys are must starts for me at the running back position. Obviously, if Eckler plays. Now, in the wide receiver, start 3, Diggs, Waddle, Puka, London, Kirk, Dotson. Is Diggs, Waddle, and Puka, it feels like, coming into it right now.
Agreed. Yeah.
Dotson doesn't have the best matchup, and I feel more confident Puka than Kirk right now, to be completely honest.
Yeah, you and I would be on the same exact page with that one. We will go back up and answer the next question. Again, guys, if you want your questions answered straight away, like these guys, go ahead and drop a super chat, and we will get to it straight away. Go ahead and smash that like button for us. Thank you for watching the stream. Not Zach says, can you guys link me the full script this season? Yeah. This is what I tell people who victory lap a player that they didn't like who got injured. Like I saw someone who was victory lapping Aaron Rodgers. They didn't like Aaron Rodgers, and on Twitter they were victory lapping like, I told no one to draft him. It's like, really? Could you give me a list of everyone else who's going to tear their Achilles this year? That would be honestly very helpful. Sam Laporta, Kittle this week, Kittle. Right?
Yeah,
that's a no-brainer there. Crystal says, got a trade offer. I get Darren Waller. They get Mike Williams. Currently have Kyle Pitts. If you have Kyle Pitts, there's no need to make this deal. I love Waller, but if you have Pitts, there's no need to make this deal. I still prefer Waller over Kyle Pitts. But, yeah, it's not like you're getting, a Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I think this one's interesting because I'm giving Pitts grace as well, but if we don't see too much happening in next week, in week 2 coming up, I think you might want to do that trade, but it might be too late by then.
Yeah, I watched a thread of Kyle Pitts, his route running week 1. Dude was just like constantly wide open, just constantly wide, butt ass naked open on his routes and not getting the ball. But hopefully that gets better. But no, I just think, if I like, let's put it like this. If I had drafted like a Juwan Johnson, a Gerald Everett, a Cole Kmet, then yeah, I would do this deal. But Kyle Pitts is not a scrub, and there will be weeks where he outscores Waller, and that will be annoying for you. Okay, we do have some super chats, so we'll get to those straight away. First one is from Bass to Mouth. Thank you for the super chat, man. Really appreciate you. 14 team, half PPR, 3 keepers. Okay, so I guess this is like a generalized question.
So any tips here?
He has Hurts, Diggs, DJ, Lockett, Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones, and Njoku, Addison. Bench is London, Zay Jones, Chuba, Penny, Kendrick. Okay, here's what I would suggest with a team like this. First off, for a 14-team league, that's a pretty good team. Like
Yeah.
you don't see many 14 team leagues that look like that. It's typically like you're starting like a Jarek McKinnon or a Samaje Perine, you know. So you've got a pretty good team overall. My best advice I could give you is specifically with DJ Moore, do not panic sell him. Specifically with Tyler Lockett, do not panic sell him. These guys will be better than what they were in week 1. In no scenario am I selling Hurts. In no scenario am I selling Diggs.
Agreed.
Aaron Jones
Addison.
is tough, but maybe what you could do is you could put Aaron Jones on your IR if he does miss this week. Pick up a backup running back from a different team and kind of like, you know, put yourself in the Russian roulette, if you will. Because there's a chance that, you know, if Jones is out this week, you put him on your IR. Let's say you go out and pick up Ty Chandler, for example, right? If an injury happens to Madison, then you got a starting running back. I'm just trying to think of any advice I could give him. Keep Addison. Addison's going to be better rest of season. London, I would say this. If London has a bounce back game, I would be willing to sell him personally.
That's what I was going to say. I think if London does have a good game, I think I want to get rid of him as soon as possible. And this is a keeper league. I think like when you think of at the end of this season, is London going to be somebody you're going to want to keep? Probably not. So if you can sell this person and get somebody else that maybe you feel a lot more confident in keeping, maybe pivoting to, you know, I don't know, Jahan Dotson or I don't know, whatever the case may be, I'm happy to do that. But I agree. I second everything you said. Maybe Kendrick Bourne. He had a good
Kendrick
week.
Bourne to sell high for sure.
You sell high? Yeah, exactly.
I would say maybe
sell him
after
high.
this week you sell him high because he plays Miami. That should be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, so we'll
but
definitely wait and
overall,
see, but-
you should be proud of the team that you have in a 14-teamer. Okay, the next one is
MC.
we have a couple other super chats to get to, guys. If you want your questions answered straight away, you know what you got to do. Super chat like these guys. McCungy says
MC,
start
says start
two:
two.
Monty, Jamal Williams, Pierce, Connor, Kelly.
If I think
This
it's
would be-
Monty and Pierce for me.
Yeah, exactly. Pierce and Monty.
I think even if Eckler doesn't play, I still go Monty and Pierce. That's what I would say. If that clears up anything for you potentially. And the reason why I say that is because the Titans gave up the least amount of fantasy points to the running back position in week 1.
Yeah.
Not that I don't trust in Joshua Kelly, but if there's anyone that I want to go against,
I
quote
hear you.
unquote, the best defense, I would rather go.
Yeah, I think that's a decent call. Bobby Reyes says PPR D-Hop, Hall, Jahan, Madison, start 2. Okay, first one, Lamar Jackson or Deshaun Watson. Let's go with Lamar. Let's bet on the bounce back. And then the other one is D-Hop, Hall. Is that Breece Hall?
I would imagine it's Breece Hall.
So for me, this would be Breece Hall and DeAndre Hopkins if he plays. If D-Hop doesn't play, this would be Breece Hall and Madison for me.
Yeah, I would agree there. I think Jahan, man, I mean, I've been second guessing myself, but I don't know if I want to start him against the Broncos now. It's a bit difficult.
Here's what I'll say: if Pat Surtain shadows Terry, then Jahan could have a good day. We just don't know if it's going to be a 1-for-1 replica, right? That's typically not how it works. So
yeah, because you don't know if he travels or it just based off of where he wants to stay. I don't know. It's tough, but we don't know what that is. But I do believe, and I also imagine this team playing from behind. But the problem is the Broncos aren't a good team in offense either to go up ahead.
This is probably going to be another disgusting game where it's like 16-19 or something, you know?
Yeah.
Watch this be the high scoring game this week. But thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. We have another one to get to here from Dude. What's up, Dude? 12 team PPR. He is showing us his team.
This trade offer. Wilson, Evans, Gainwell for Kupp and Gibbs. So that's Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Kenneth Gainwell for Cooper Kupp and Jahmyr Gibbs. His team looks like he could do this deal. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here, because you have Addison on the bench. You have JSN. No, you have JSN on the bench, it looks like. And you have Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley. So those are your two starting wide receivers. How did you get this team? So Justin Jefferson and Calvin Ridley are starting for you. Now I'm assuming this is, let's just say this is one flex. then yes, I'm happy to trade and give this away for Cooper Cup. Now, if it's a two flexer, if this is a two flexer, I don't know if I would want to do this because I think you would need Wilson and Evans in the long haul over Cups and Gibbs.
I think regardless, I'm taking the Cup and Gibbs side here. I think I'm taking the Cup and Gibbs side. It's very close.
One flex. He said one flex, so I'm doing it in the one flex.
Yeah, I'll take the Cup and Gibbs side, and it's not like if you make this trade, your team is destroyed if it doesn't work out. Like, this is an upside play. You're like, I know what Cooper Cup has been in the past. If he comes back and he's the guy, I win my league, right? If Jahmyr Gibbs turns out to be a top 12 guy, I win my league. So, whereas Gainwell may not have that upside because we don't even know what the running back room will look like every week. So, yeah, and, Zach Wilson to Garrett Wilson, that's tough. I'll take Cup and Gibbs there. It's very close, but that's what I would do myself.
I like it as a one flex one, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Hey guys, we are currently 4 likes away from 100. So if you haven't dropped a like yet, go ahead and smash that like button. Help us get to that 100 mark. If you want your question answered straight away, drop a super chat. We have another super chat here from Joe. Joe says, let's see. Okay, so Lamar Jackson, I think he's putting his team out there, and then he says, drop McLaurin and Dillon. I guess I want to understand this question. So he put his team there.
Then he says, who should I start? So I'm assuming who's you starting? I mean,
no, he says, drop McLaurin and Dillon, question mark. Who should I get? Joe, if you're in the chat, can you just clarify what you mean by this? Do you mean... Are those players on your waiver wire? And who should you drop?
Yeah. So you have Lamar Jackson, CMC. I'm assuming he's saying he's going to start Tyler Algier. Then AJ Brown, Puka with George Kittle. Then he has Pittman, Dillon. So then you have all these other people. So yeah, how many flexes do you have? What does that look like? Just to clarify this so we can give you the best information.
I'm not sure if this is a start sit question, a waiver wire question. But we want to, honor your super chat. So please leave a comment down below now as we're replying, so we can help you out. That's his whole team. I get you. Okay. So what are you asking? Who to start? How many options do you have to start? And
I was thinking of dropping Terry or Dillon. Why would you? We wouldn't drop Terry or Dillon.
Yeah, Joe, are you saying your team is over the limit in your league and you have to drop someone? You're saying you have to drop one player, is that correct? I think that's what he's saying. We'll find out in a second, but it would probably be Zay Jones for me.
Yeah, that's what I would say. What I would also say is, before you drop anyone, Joe, I'm pretty sure you have done this, but if not, try and trade somebody. Yeah, trades, like people are saying, trade somebody. Don't drop them.
For sure.
I mean, can you trade away Zay Jones to somebody and get, I don't know, tier up, right? Package Zay Jones and Jakobi Meyers, 2 guys that just had amazing weeks. Can you tier up to a better wide receiver? Whatever that looks like. It sounds absurd, and I doubt anyone would do this, but I mean, Zach and I have been saying it. People are panicking right now with T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Jahan Dotson, all those players. That's exactly what I would. That's exactly what I could.
I would love to know what this feels like an 8-man league to me, looking at this roster. So keep in mind, in an 8-man league, nobody's giving you something for Zay Jones, right?
If he had an 8-man league, he would have a better running back. He has McCaffrey and Algier.
Dude, he has like 15 players we would start in a 12-man.
Fair. Let us know. I don't know. I mean,
here's what I would say. If you need to drop someone, first you want to try and make a trade. So players that you could trade high right now, I'd be open to trading high on a Zay Jones, a Jakobi Meyers. But overall, if you had to drop someone, it's Zay Jones. But first you want to try and do a 2-for-1 deal where you upgrade somewhere. Hopefully that's helpful, Joe. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate you, man. I really hope that's helpful. Thank you for the support, guys. Drop a super chat if you want your question answered straight away. Let's go to the top here. Fields or Richardson? I'm going Fields still, but it's very close. They're back-to-back in my rankings. Drake London, or should I just not have a player in the lineup and take the 0?
That's funny. That's how crazy it is with Drake right now. I mean, you start Drake ML, but I agree.
Drake London or Tom Brady? Because let's be honest, it's just leadership at that spot. You know, where you're starting someone, it's all leadership. They're trying to coach the roster up.
No doubt about it.
That's funny. I currently have Purdy, Debo, and Keenan. I traded Garrett Wilson and Kyron Williams for Mixon and Love. Was this a good idea? So, I don't love the idea of like a quarterback being a part of a deal like that, where I'm in a one quarterback league.
One quarterback league, yeah.
Excuse me. But you traded Garrett Wilson and Kyron Williams for Mixon and Love. I would rather that have been like Mixon and Christian Kirk in a one quarterback league, you know, or like a Mixon and a Puka, or Mixon and a Jordan Addison. Mixon and a Jerry Jeudy, a Terry McLaurin, you know. So in a one quarterback league, which I assume it is, I don't love that Jordan Love was a big part of a deal, because, you know, he's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. So, yeah. I'm trying to trade Rachaad White for Alvin Kamara. Donald, I just don't think anyone is doing that trade after the performance last week. Maybe this week, because we believe Rachaad White will bounce back. He has a much better matchup. Maybe this week you can get that done. But I just don't think anyone's doing that right now after his week 1 performance.
Yeah, I would agree.
Crystal, stay away from Waller. He's damaged goods. Source, I drafted Waller and I'm regretting it hard. Don't regret it, guys. It's way too early. Way too early. I mean, he should have a fine bounce back game in week 2. DJ Moore or Godwin? I think we both go DJ Moore, but it's close.
Agreed, DJ Moore.
Puka or Gabe Davis, the better start? I would go Puka if I had those options.
Agreed.
Yeah, you agree? Okay, next question is from Joseph. Should I start Zay Flowers or just keep waiting and watching current wide receivers? It depends on your options. I think I'm starting him. Oof. So here's what I'll say. Zay Flowers on the week for me is my wide receiver 22. So I am heavily considering starting him. He's in the top 24 of my wide receiver rankings. For me, it would be Jefferson, Zay, and Godwin of the 3 that you sent. But Mike Williams is also a start of the week for me. So, these are all great options.
This week. Yeah, he has a good matchup this week. Titans give the second most fantasy points, but I can see that happening for the Chargers, and just getting peppered with Keenan Allen, getting peppered with, I don't know, Austin Eckler or Joshua Kelly, and then Mike probably just has a bomb touchdown. But Zay Flowers, I think what it feels like is Zay Flowers has the safest floor right now, where Mike has a higher ceiling based on matchup.
I think I hear that notion, and I could agree with that sentiment for sure. Hey, shout out to everybody watching. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are going to keep answering your questions. We just want to quickly let you guys know about a resource that is available to all of you, no matter who you are. You can know exactly what I think about a player with my rankings over on the Flock Fantasy website. Let me go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So if we don't get to every question today, which we're still going to keep going, just so you know. But if you want access to my rankings, I post my weekly rankings every week over on the Flock Fantasy website. I posted them yesterday. You can see over 1,500 people have already viewed it. But in my rankings package, I have every position, over 300 players ranked, start and sits at every position. And I think it's a very good resource for people over there on the Flock Fantasy website. So if you want to have access to that, go ahead and sign up with our promo code LAND to get 30% off. And if you choose the Mother Flocker tier, you're going to unlock a direct DM to us where you can ask us advice all year long. Okay, let's go back, and I think we have a super chat. Do we not?
Let me just double check. I can tell you before you scroll down.
We do, from Kendrick.
We do have a Kendrick. He said flex spot, PPR, White, Lockett, Nakua. Man, all these guys feel like needs to be started here.
I agree.
This is a tough one here. I think this one we can easily get wrong.
I would agree with that.
Rachaad White is a must-start running back for me. Puka feels like he's a great start as well. Lockett will have a bounce back game, but is it crazy
I'm going Lockett.
Yeah, is it crazy to go Lockett there? Because I just feel a lot more confident in that, in Lockett and Geno there, against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Even though they had a good game, but I feel really confident in Tyler Lockett still.
Yeah, I would go Lockett as well. Okay, let's go to the next question that we had in order. We're doing our best to answer as many questions as we can, guys. Y'all know that. Super chat is available if you want something desperately answered straight away. Joseph, should I start Zay Flowers or keep waiting? We already answered that one. My bad.
Yep.
The next one is from Joe. What do you think of McLaurin? Legit did nothing week 1. How are you feeling about Pittman? McLaurin's going to be better. Coming back from the turf toe, he's going to be fine. Is he going to be a top 10 guy this year? No. Doesn't look like it. But is he going to be a flexible option? Yes, for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
Not a good matchup this week versus Pat Surtain, though. And as far as Pittman, right now, he's proved me wrong. Still very early, but right now, he's proved me wrong. I did not expect the Colts to throw the ball that much so far. So he looks like a fine start.
Yeah. I mean, I feel more confident starting Pittman, especially against the Texans this week.
Yeah.
So I'll be okay with that.
Rocket says full PPR flex spot Amari Cooper or Ayuk. Got bummed last week, but I still believe in him. Yeah.
I feel like both of these guys needs to be started. Personally, I think Amari's going to have a better game. Once again, what's the context of that game? It was raining the whole time. Both teams couldn't get the ball moving. Ayuk, phenomenal game, but both of these guys need to be started here. But if I had to choose one, I feel like you have to ride the hot hand in Brandon Ayuk there.
Yeah, this is not going to give you any more confidence because I looked at my rankings. They're one spot apart from each other, back to back. Ayuk is my wide receiver 16, Amari is my wide receiver 17. Both should be started, but I would rock with Ayuk. Okay, cool. So do these guys get to everyone? Well, if you answered the question, we would have gotten to it. Keenan says, guys, I currently have... Okay, what's the question here? Should I try Garrett Wilson for Zay Flowers, Pittman, Mike Evans, Zay Jones, or Nico Collins, or hold? Should I try Garrett Wilson for Zay Flowers? So you're saying you could trade Garrett Wilson for any of these options?
I would do a package deal, not just a one-off. If I can get Zay Flowers and... Man, it doesn't sound sexy. Not that I would do this, but like, can I get Zay Flowers and a Michael Pittman? Hypothetically, if you like that trade, go for it. If you get Zay Flowers and Mike Evans, if you believe in him, go for it. But what I would say, I feel like you can tier just a little bit higher, even more, in my opinion, compared to some of these guys that are on the list here. I mean, I think of Garrett Wilson and I don't know, people that are panicking on people like an Amari Cooper. Or someone like a T. Higgins who didn't have a good game. Can I get Flowers and an Elijah Moore for Garrett Wilson? Those are the type of names I think of. I try to take advantage of those names that didn't have the best week.
I'd rather approach it as like a 2-for-2 deal, and upgrade somewhere else. So let's say I get Garrett Wilson, and in theory, like I send away, I send away Garrett Wilson, and Alexander Mattison. And I receive, let's say, Zay Flowers and Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, that's just like an example of like a 2-for-2 type deal. So, I send away a Mark Andrews and I get a Kelsey back, right? Or I send away a Higbee and I get a Waller back. So I would rather do a 2-for-2 deal there, but I don't think it's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy either.
Trade for any... I don't understand the question. I think this guy's answering people's questions.
I think
maybe.
he was answering. Trade Puka for Calvin. If you can get Calvin right now and
get Calvin 100%,
Ridley. I'm doing that every day.
Yes, I agree. Trade target managers who lost Dobbins. So I guess he's saying like, what are some trade targets? Is that the question?
I mean,
waiver wire would have been the best way to address that, but if you weren't able to do it in the waiver wire, then we actually literally just dropped trade videos today for both wide receiver and running back positions, so go check those out. No one except a complete taco is going to cut bait. Okay. What? Some people aren't even answering questions.
Okay,
Who
keep
could be
going.
a tight end flyer for the week if Pat Fryermuth is out? Question from Daniel here. Jake Ferguson's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Laporta, I like.
Luke
Hayden
Musgrave.
Hurst, Luke Musgrave.
I mean,
Some
a
good
lot of
names.
these rookies kind of did decent well too. Really, I mean, Kincaid had a decent game. Wasn't exciting, but he was getting more work in the second half. So
Ridley and Etienne or Diggs and Kenneth Walker? I'd rather have Ridley and Etienne.
really Etienne, I would have that as well. Exactly.
Kittle or
Kittle,
Laporta this week?
Laporta.
Kittle.
Yeah, I said kid already.
Need to buff up my bench. How much fab should I commit to Jacoby Myers? I'll be honest. I know Jacoby is like on the concussion protocol. I might blow my load for Jacoby.
Balls?
That
Did he blow
dude was targeted early, often, important targets, important volume, important touches.
Give it to Jacoby Myers. Look, I completely agree. I think Jacoby Myers is key sneaky. I was really interested to see how they were going to utilize him because I thought Hunter Renfrow was going to be more playing the slot. Jacoby Myers was going back and forth, outside, inside. It just depends on how much fab you have. If you have 100 fab, I'm happy to spend,
I spend 50 of my fab. I would spend 50 of my fab. Like if I'm in a 8-man, no, of course I'm not. I'll spend like 10 of my fab. If I'm in a 10-man, of course not. I'll spend like 10 of my fab. In a 12-man, where I have multiple flex options, yeah, I'll put 50 down for Jacoby. In a 14-man, I might spend all of it.
Look, I was initially gonna say 30, maybe 40, but the more you talk about it, the more kind of realizing maybe he is be a viable option moving forward. That you might want to have on your team. So
yeah,
I hear you.
We didn't bring him up on the waiver video this week because I assumed he was already rostered in everyone's leagues.
Oh yeah, Jacoby Myers was getting picked up. I mean, he was rostered in our home leagues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Not G says, hey guys, first time watcher. This isn't a start sit question, but would you drop Sky Moore for Nico Collins? I would. I'm a Chiefs fan, and I would prefer Nico Collins.
Mm-hmm.
Ayuk, Moore, or Zay Jones. This week I'm going Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk it. Mm-hmm.
Is Luke Musgrave on my radar?
Here we go.
For available tight ends.
Is Luke Musgrave on my radar for available? I mean, if you have an available, if he, I think he's saying, should Luke Musgrave be on his radar if he's an available tight end? I think he should be. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
It also depends on what tight ends you have.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he should be on everyone's radar for sure. No worries, Donald. Yeah, let's get a larger sample size than 1 week. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm back on the comments here, so I can kind of answer some questions for you here and give you a break. Jason, hey boys, Jamal Williams or Breece at flex? I mean, Jamal is a great start this week in my opinion, but it has to be Breece Hall after that performance.
Yeah.
So go there. Gibbs or Flowers week 2. Both these guys should be must starts personally. Should be started, but I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Agreed.
Brandon says, "Sup, fellas, have PPR playing Dotson, JSN, London, or Slum for Penny." I'm going Dotson here. Not the best matchup, but I'd rather play Jahan Dotson out of London and JSN.
I'll just give you in order: Dotson, JSN. That's my order. I don't want to play the rest.
I don't want to play the rest. Breece should get more volume with Roger. Okay, yes. Do I think Watson plays this week? If so, how comfortable? At the moment, he didn't practice as of today, from what we understand. So it's trending in the wrong direction.
Not looking good.
So we'll wait and see what that is. Kittle, we answered that already.
Oh yeah, I feel like we answered that a lot.
I think Plains is answering. Jason, like my bad boys, no worries. Nick, start 2. Watson, Addison, James Cook, Dotson. If Watson plays, I feel like you play him, but if not, I'm going James Cook, and it's between Addison and
I'll go
Dotson.
Addison and Cook, yeah.
Yeah, it's between Addison and Dotson for me, but Addison, I need to know who's going to be guarding him personally, but I think I will go James Cook and Jahan Dotson there. They both have bad matchups. Yeah, I guess you want to be part of that better offense, though. I'm going Dotson. I trust in Dotson more.
I'm going Addison
at this
Cook.
very moment. AK, would y'all start Pickens over Dotson straight up this week? I would. I think could be the better start now that Deontay's out.
I'm concerned because I understand the notion that, okay, the wide receiver one's out, now Pickens gets more looks. To me, if I'm game planning against the Steelers, it's like shut down George Pickens. You know, so that concerns me. I think I would go Dotson. But let me just double check my rankings, because my rankings have been more thought out than they're back to back in my rankings. They're back to back in my rankings, so that doesn't help you. I'm sorry.
That helps no one.
Yeah.
It's okay. Trade Chase for Mixon and Godwin. No running back volume. Good trade. If you have no running backs,
No,
I think
I'm
you
keeping
can get
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I think you can get Mixon and then a higher tier wide receiver than Godwin. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
But you can get Mixon and
Do not undervalue Chase because of week 1.
Yeah, I would agree there. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Cap.
Wow, when this comment went, there was 13 likes. We're now at 108. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank you. Addison or Kyron at the flex.
Yeah, I will go Addison there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough, but yeah.
Yeah, Cruz, full PPR. I have Gabe Davis, but Elijah Moore, Nico on waiver wires. Would you drop Gabe Davis? I think we answered this question.
We did.
You said yes. I'm about to drop London one more week. I mean, I might be releasing a video if London does not have a good game. I mean, you can see that video immediately right after the Sunday slate games before Sunday Night Football, or right after Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Yep. Puka is a tough start. I had Chase and traded him for Mixon and Godwin. Fair enough. I mean, yeah. Sorry, man. We said our thoughts there. Full PPR start Rashad White or Ken Walker. I'll go Ken Walker there, even though Rashad should be started.
Yeah, on the waiver wires, pick up Christian Kirk. I would say there, Chris, as well. Death, I told everyone Tyreek Hill will be the wide receiver one week 1. Where's my money making? Come on, talk it up. I mean, what's another prediction there? Give us another one. I need some.
Yeah.
Cruz, I think we answered Cruz question. DJ said Monty at RB1, Madison, Karen Williams, Herbert at RB2. I'm going Madison as much as I don't like it. I don't like it though, but I'm going Madison. Herbert has a decent start this week. To be honest, he is playing on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're in the middle of a packed defense at the moment, according to week 1, but I'm going Madison though. Casey said I offered a 25 first and a 24 third for Ridley. 1 quarterback, half PPR, start 9-10 man league. Other person's very interested. What more would you offer?
I wouldn't offer more.
Yeah, I mean,
I love Ridley. But the time to buy Ridley was when I told everyone to buy him 6 months ago, a year ago, you know, when you could get him for a late second, a couple thirds.
Yeah.
You can't send more than a first and a third. Maybe a first and a second at most.
Yeah. Pick up Gainwell if he was dropped to waiver wires. Rank this stack Lamar. I mean, if it's a good stack if once
Top
Mark
5?
Andrews is back, brother. Yeah. Should I get rid of McLaurin for Kendrick Bourne, Dobbs, or Shaheed? I wouldn't get rid of Terry.
No,
I'm happy to pick up Dobbs or I'm happy to pick up any 3 of these guys, but I'm not dropping Terry for them. Should I trade Pittman and Cam Akers for Saquon? Yes, I would do that every
I like
single
that
day.
deal.
Atwell or Mooney at flex. Dotson is also an option. I mean, I'm going Dotson.
Yeah,
but
Dotson.
If you start Dotson, but if you had to choose between Atwell and Mooney, I'm going Mooney. Do I stash Amon or Bigsby? I'll personally be stashing Bigsby.
Yeah.
Not sure about you.
Yeah.
Ian says, should I start Allen Robinson, Christian Kirk, or Gus Edwards? And Aaron Jones, is out this week. RIP to Aaron Rodgers, by the way. Miss you every day. Damn, what a season. What a football season this could have been if Aaron Rodgers played him.
Yeah, tough break for the NFL scripted crowd, isn't it?
I mean, Roger Goodell. Unlucky. Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. Imagine. Oh, Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. Let's put him on 7 primetime games. Now we got to watch 7 primetime games with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, not ideal.
What a joke.
I think, I know it sounds crazy. I think I'll go Gus Edwards there. I really do believe that he will be, and I could be wrong, but I do believe that he will be the one to own in Baltimore between him and Justice.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree there. Hey guys, thanks for answering the question. Half PPR, pick 2. With Debo, D Hop, Addison, Rashad White. Okay, so I think you go Debo and DeAndre Hopkins if they both play, or if
Yes.
D Hop plays. But if D Hop doesn't play, I feel like Rashad White
Yeah.
is where I would go.
Exactly.
Philip said for flex, Ayuk, Brian Robinson. You're going Brandon Ayuk there. Don't overthink
Did we
it.
not answer this super chat, by the way?
We did
From
Allen for
Allen?
PPR. Yeah, we said
I hope
I
we
think we
did.
said Puka. Yeah, we did. We did
Okay, yeah,
answer
we did.
Allen.
We did. My bad. My bad.
No worries, crew. Start Dak or Love. I'm going Dak Prescott. Who does Love play? Actually, he plays the Falcons.
I think.
I think I might go. I think I might go Jordan Love there.
Yeah, they're back to back my rankings. I have Love one spot ahead.
Yeah, I'm going Jordan Love. Sorry. Should I get rid of McLaurin? Nope. Puka or Lockett. I think we said Lockett there.
Yep.
It's very close. So full PPR. Pittman, Hall, or Cooper. I'm assuming that's Brees Hall. I think if it comes down to Cooper or Brees Hall, I feel like I have to go Amari Cooper there.
Yeah, I would go Amari Cooper too. Just, I think it's a safer play.
I think so as well. I mean, Hall had an amazing game this past week, but Dallas defense is just different.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. Dak or Love rest of the season. I think it's a bit too early to say. I feel like rest of the season, with what I know, I want Dak.
Yeah.
Because I think there's going to be a lot more inconsistencies with Love. But
Yeah.
I want Dak. Joe says, should I get rid of McLaurin? No. I have a lot of great options. Bourne, Shaheed Collins, Elijah Moore.
I'll keep McLaurin.
I'll keep McLaurin, but I think Elijah Moore should be rostered on your team if he's available. So I will be picking him up as soon as possible. I think I'm going with James Cook over Rashad White this weekend. I love it. Donald, I mean, the production from James Cook, though, I'm loving it. Let's see what he can do. Start Lamar or Tua. I'm going Lamar.
Same. Tua should have a fine game, but he should come back to earth a little bit versus New England. I mean,
agree.
do we all agree that Jalen Hurts is pretty good for fantasy? Well, Jalen Hurts last week was held in check, right?
Held in
Against
check,
New England.
baby.
So
We'll see. Carlos Drock, Higbee, or Laporta for Nico. I'm happy to drop
I think I'd rather have Laporta.
over Higbee.
I
Wow.
think so, dude.
I'm loving the Laporta love from Zach here.
I mean, how can you not? Based off what we saw from this disgusting tight end position in week 1, and
I mean, Higbee didn't have the best game either.
no, he didn't. And there's reason to believe that he will have better games, of course. But yeah.
I think Higbee is better long term. I think Laporta is good for the first 6 weeks, but we don't know what that's going to look like when J-Mo comes back.
That's fair.
That's what I would say. As much as I love Laporta, I think this is a hard question here, Carlos. I don't know if I'm comfortable dropping either of them with their upside because I think they would have more consistency than Nico Collins personally. But if you need Nico, I think I would be dropping.
Here's
Sam
how you
Laporta.
can handle it. Find your cousins, write names on back of their their backs, and then have them fight each other. Whoever wins, that's you drop the one that loses.
Oh gosh. Owen says
that's
Michael
rough.
Thomas. Yeah, it is rough. Michael Thomas or Swift
Going
on
MT.
On MT there. So I trade James Conner for D Hop, depending on your team. MC. I think we answered this question.
I think we answered that question before,
yeah.
but
Literally right above.
yeah, we
We
did answer that.
Okay.
What's up, Chef? Welcome in. Hey, we do have a super chat, so let's get to that.
Okay, yeah.
Super chat from Big Breakfast. That was the script. Rogers is Testaverde 2.0.
Oh my gosh. That is.
Did you see that Testaverde was there?
Yes. Did you see that story? The one that
I saw Rich Eisen. He was pissed.
Yes, he was so pissed. And bro, that is crazy. All that stuff that he was saying.
You know, it was funny because Rich Eisen was like, "What is Testaverde doing there? You shouldn't be there." And then afterwards he goes, "We all know this isn't his fault. Don't clown him in the comments." Like, what do you mean, bro? You just gave you as a Jets homer and fan, which rightfully so, you should be upset. Just gave the entire Jets community the go-ahead to be angry at Testaverde like it's his fault, you know?
It is. It's terrible. It's sad. But look, all the
sad.
signs pointing is that he's going to be back next year. So don't
No, Zach Wilson's going to run him out of town.
he has a full freaking season to get healthy as well. If the Jets make the playoffs, what's the Achilles process? How long does that take to come back?
Coming back.
If they make the playoffs, though,
He's not coming back. It's at minimum like 8 months.
you're right. Say less. Just wanted to.
But
hype
with
it up
modern
there,
day
man.
science and technology,
Yeah, because I was trying to think of Cam
No.
Akers, but Cam Akers got injured before training camp started.
yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways, thank you for the super chat. We do answer
Big
super
breakfast.
chat straight away. The next question is
Death Lord
Jermaine.
says, no, it's Death Lord. Oh well, he had a question. He's just a comment, but
Is Love or Dak rest of the season is what I saw as the next one.
okay, yeah.
We
Lower
said
Dak.
Dak.
We said that Rashid, Shaheed, or Javante. Going Javante. Who's Javante?
Yeah,
playing
Javante.
Washington.
That should
Javante,
be definitely Javante.
Yeah.
Chase that.
Start Gibbs, or Monty, or Gibbs and Rashid. Gibbs and Monty. Even though I don't love that, I don't love doing that, but I'm starting both. I think both of these guys are gonna start coming into this week.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Should I try and sell Cooper or just get rid of him? No, you keep Amari Cooper. I think you'll be fine, Chef. Don't panic. Don't.
Let's just say
overreact.
this, like in general, to anyone out there, like you don't panic sell players, and you don't sell them after they have poor performances. You know, that's where you're going to end up screwing your team over. If after
Yeah.
each performance, you sell them after a bad game. Just try and be patient. I know it's tough. We talk about these players for an entire offseason, and some of them don't play well straight away, but he'll be better. He'll be better.
Agreed. I tend to start Roscoe over Gibbs or Brees in PPR. I mean, we wouldn't do that. Roscoe had the most receptions running
I
back
think
last week.
important context, Brad, is that Rashawn Johnson did not play the entire first half. It was heavily Khalil Herbert and Deonta Foreman. In the second half, when they were down and things weren't going their way, Rashawn played a bunch. I would not be starting Rashawn Johnson over those options that you mentioned. In deeper leagues with less options, yes, but no, I wouldn't start him over those options.
I completely agree. Then that's exactly what I was going to say. I rewatched that game yesterday. A lot of context there that you need to understand. Drop one for a stupid kicker. Kadarius, Shaheed, Rice, Jameson. I'm dropping Jameson. He's not going to bring value to your team at this very moment.
I don't want to drop J-Mo, though.
I know, but if Kadarius Toney has a bounce back game, Shaheed has another good game, Rice has another good game, you're like, why the hell did I drop him? I think J-Mo is the right answer, but you probably don't want to. I understand. Right?
I'm dropping Rice.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, what's this question here? Any obvious pointers for a noob? Looking at your team, brother, it looks really great. Your starting team, obviously, Mostert is down, but you have AJ Dillon. If Aaron Jones doesn't play, and you have Shaheed, who you picked up, I know you have Sky. I think this is a good team. Obviously, there's some weaknesses here on your flex spot, but your starting position is pretty strong here.
Yeah, we can't. We can't go too in depth on like team breakdowns today because there's so many questions. Appreciate you guys. We do help people when we break their teams down over on the Fantasy Hotline if they use our promo code LAND and sign up to the Mother Flocker tier. So keep that in mind. Apparently the mic is staticky. So
is that me?
Let me reconnect. Hello. Does this sound better? I can't hear you, and I know exactly why. Should be able to hear you now.
Checkity check. Make sure you can hear me. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Should we call it at 12 our time? So another 23 minutes.
Yep.
All right, guys.
23 minutes. We will do our best to get to everyone's question. Obviously, we can't guarantee it. But if you do want your question answered straight away, drop a super chat and it will get answered. 23 minutes now. We'll be live for the next 23 minutes. That would be 2 hours. Hunter Henry, Jake Ferguson. I think we both go Hunter Henry, right?
Hunter Henry. Yep, I would agree. 12 standard full PPR. Start Addison or Kyron at flex. I will go Addison there personally. Francisco says flex DJ Moore or Puka. I'm going DJ Moore. Otherwise, starting wide receivers are Higgins and Devonta. I'm going DJ Moore as much as I like Puka.
Agreed. And we'll know more this time next week with Puka.
Yeah. Do I start Olave really and Waddle over Garrett Wilson? Yes,
I would. You do.
I wouldn't chase last week's points. A rookie wide receiver against the Niners defense. Okay, no worries.
You do you, Vernon.
Tua or Justin Fields? I'm going Justin.
Yeah, agreed.
Should I keep McLaurin and AJ Dillon? I have a lot of amazing people on the waiver wires. I still got Isaiah and Nakua already. Maybe Bourne Kelly to swap them out. This is what I would say. I'm not a big believer in AJ Dillon in what he's going to be getting when Aaron Jones out. What I would try and do is sell AJ Dillon to that Aaron Jones person and get something in return, and maybe pick up Kelly if you want.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Agreed.
Hopefully that helps. Okay, that said he was just him. Should I keep? Yeah, we answered that question. Trade Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill. So Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill for CMC and Waddle. Wow.
Yeah, I would do that. I would take the CMC Waddle side.
I think I'm fine with either trade. I'm happy to keep Derrick Henry and Hill or get CMC and Waddle. I think it's an even trade.
I talked about Derrick Henry a little bit. This is concerning. Week 1, his usage is concerning. It's not like, they were down a bunch. Like, the Titans were in that game. And in the last 4 years, Derrick Henry has played over 50% of the snaps, 96% of the time. In week 1, he played 47% of the snaps. He was outsnapped by Tajay Spears, and it's only week 1. We know rookies continually get more and more involved. I'm not saying Derrick Henry will be bad. I'm not saying he won't be top 10. I'm not saying he won't be, top 8. But that's a concerning trend for me already in week 1 for a rookie running back that they love, that they spent day 2 capital on, already is that involved. So, yeah, I'll go CMC and Waddle there.
That's fair. Would you drop Gibson for Jaylen Warren? I would, yes. Not sure about you.
That's tough because, the only reason I'm hesitant is because that game script was really in Washington's favor. And I imagine when they're actually down in a bunch of games, Gibson's going to get more work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I lean Gibson still, but it's close.
That's fair. I was getting Breece Hall for Addison a good trade. I think it all depends on your team. Do you need a running back? Do you need a wide receiver? What is that need? But
I prefer Breece Hall.
Looking at what Breece did, you want Breece Hall, absolutely. We got a super chat here. Thank you so much, guys. Bradley Pittman. Michael Pittman must be your brother. You probably get that all the time. That must be annoying. Appreciate you.
It's actually Brady.
Brady. Shit, Tom Brady and Michael Pittman. The bloodline is strong so far. 14-team Superflex, start 11, PPR full rebuild.
So is this a dynasty question then?
This might be a dynasty question. All good. Take late first for Godwin. Also, 30 minutes before rookie drafts, I've traded away the 104 Stroud for Love and the 210 Musgrave. Okay, so take a late first for Godwin. I would be taking the late first for your rebuild. Yes, I'm taking that late first for.
If he's
I would rather have the
sure.
late first.
Yeah,
give me that late first. Okay, so now what you did was that you traded away the 104, which was Stroud, for Love and the 210. I would rather have CJ Stroud there. I think the context also helps. Is like, okay, do you need help at tight end?
I just feel like if you were to send away the 104, you should have been able to get more for the 104 than Jordan Love and the 210. Like, to me, if I sent away the 104 in my rookie drafts, I would have gotten Jordan Love in the 110 or something,
Yeah, 210 is pretty far back there. So I'm assuming this trade it has already been done. You got Jordan Love and the 210 and Luke Musgrave. I would agree with Zach. Probably could have gotten more. But it's not a terrible trade. Love looks good so far.
No, it looks fine so far.
And so does Luke Musgrave. So it all depends on how this season is going to pan out, because our expectations for any of these rookie quarterbacks is not to be a top 15 guy. You have to see them progress.
No, we expect them to struggle for sure.
Yeah, we expect them to struggle. So keep that in mind. But thank you so much, Brady, and appreciate you for that super chat.
We do have another super chat from Sean here.
Yeah, Sean said Dynasty Superflex traded Kyler, Hill, Hollywood, and I'm assuming you got Geno, Jonathan Taylor, Waddle, and Puka. So you traded Kyler Murray, Tyreek Hill, Hollywood, and you got Geno Smith, Jonathan Taylor, Waddle, and Puka. Trying to win now,
Okay.
had no second QB. So
I don't mind like the moving off Tyreek for Waddle long term.
I would agree there.
I prefer Waddle in Dynasty, not redraft, obviously. And I like the buy low of Jonathan Taylor,
I think so as well.
especially like losing Hollywood. I'm fine with that. I just
just wish-
don't love the idea of Geno being my
Kyler,
quarterback
yeah.
2 over Kyler. That's where it really breaks down for me.
long term.
but-
Yeah, I completely agree.
If Puka ends up being like a serious contributor, which there's a possibility, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if he does end up being a serious contributor, like they could have genuinely found their next Robert Woods, and this is just like going to be a top 24 guy for the next decade, you know? Or it could be a one week fluke, you know? 15 targets doesn't sound like a fluke though. I mean, you know, like 5 targets, if it was 5 targets and he caught 2 touchdowns, it's like, okay, maybe a fluke. 15 targets seems pretty intentional. So look, as long as Geno can recover, then I think this trade is fine. The issue is when Kyler's back, he's going to be better than Geno, and that might be something that is frustrating. So it's a pretty close trade.
Yeah, it is a pretty close trade. I would agree there. But
All right,
appreciate you guys, Brady and Sean. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah. The next one that we had in order, and guys, just keep in mind, we're only going to be live for another 16 minutes. We're going to try our best to get to every question. We can't guarantee it. If you do want your question answered, drop a super chat. Otherwise, we'll be live tomorrow. Okay, we answered this.
Yes, and Anton.
Yeah,
think.
Anton.
Sorry. Need 2 flex. Play Watson, Dotson, Zay Flowers, Dobbs, or Whites.
This is actually easy. I can answer this regardless of if Watson's healthy. It would be Zay Flowers and Rashad White for me.
Okay, I think if Watson plays, I'm really interested in starting him, but it will be Zay Flowers and Rashad White for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay, going down. Looks like I was thinking dropping McLaurin. Nope. Okay, trade. Real question. Should I trade Hawkinson and Connor for Kelsey?
Yes.
I would be okay with that, yes.
Get Travis Kelce.
Ethan said Zay Jones, Puka, Dotson, Algier for a flex 10 man. I feel confident going Puka there, but it's really close between Puka and Dotson personally.
I'd say Algier is more intriguing. I'll rock with Algier there.
I think for me, Algier is. I am more on. I need to see it happen again.
I understand.
That's what I was saying. I think if I'm going to go with PPR, I'm going to go with Puka or Dotson there over Algier.
Okay.
But look, he did have a good week. I'm not disregarding that. I think just like with a lot of things we've been about with a lot of people, you know, I need to see it again from Jacoby Myers if that's really true. I need to see it again from Puka, really, if that's really true. I need to see it again from Tyler Algier. Like, these are a lot of names I need to see again.
Sure.
And I'd rather take my chance with Puka this week.
All right, Richardson or Watson. I think we both go. I'm actually going Richardson.
You're going Richardson. I'm going Watson, which that's fair.
We're not doing
Tommy, we're
any
not rating
team
teams.
grades right now. If you guys want a team graded, we offer a service called the Fantasy Hotline, which you unlock if you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier with our promo code LAND over on the Flock Fantasy website. The Flock Fantasy website is a website where all the best content creators have come together to create the best perks you could possibly get. So if you want a serious breakdown of your team, that's where you could find it. Do we still roster Kareem Hunt? No, I think there's better options on the waiver wire. Unless you have like deep benches, then yes.
I'm surprised that he hasn't been picked up by a team already.
Yeah.
That's what I would say with the injuries that has been happening with the Ravens. I mean, that's the only team I can think of at the moment. But I just haven't been. I'm surprised he hasn't been picked up, or anyone hasn't been picked up.
Yeah, agreed. What running back could I get for? I don't think you get a running back for these guys right now that's valuable. Hopefully they have a much better week 2 performance, and then we can reassess. But right now, no one's trading for those guys. What's up, Skyler? Welcome in. Should I trade Hurts, Ramondre, and Ayuk for Herbert, Eckler, and Judy? Hurts, Ramondre, Ayuk for Herbert, Eckler, Judy.
I think if Ayuk continues to play the way he's playing, I want to keep him. I would rather have Eckler over Ramondre, but I'm still pretty confident in the workload that Ramondre is getting at this very moment. I think he is the clear pass catching back, which I feel really confident in.
That's a tough one. I would probably lean.
I think the biggest question is it all depends on if Jerry Jeudy is going to come back and what that looks like.
Yeah, I'll probably lean Hurts for now. The Hurts side for now.
Yeah.
You're right. They declined the Rachaad White Kamara trade. Yes, I didn't think they'd accept it. Dude, it's $5 to get everything in there. If I wanted to write more, it's 10.
What you mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Did he have a super chat? I'm assuming.
Did he?
Oh, does it give you a certain amount to put in your question? I mean, first of all, we didn't know that.
I have no idea.
So you're saying if you donate $1, you only have a certain amount of words, but if you want to ask a bigger question, you have to. If you have more characters, you have to donate more. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, no idea. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we would have answered Joe's question by now, though, if he sat through the stream. What can you do?
Sure we helped
Puka or Flowers? I go Flowers.
Yep.
I was offered Sam Laporta for Elijah Moore in a 12-man PPR league. Currently have Komet. I would keep Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I would keep Elijah Moore. No matter what. Addison or Tyler Algier. You see, now this one's interesting.
This is interesting. I will go
because
Madison.
It's so close.
It is close. Madison's my RB22. Algier my RB25. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Madison. Madison, James Cook. This one's also very close.
Madison for me, but it's close.
I'm going Madison as well, but I love James Cook. I think he's a start this week. I think James Cook's a start this week. Ayuk or Khalil Herbert for Calvin, and Khalil Herbert for Calvin. I'm okay with that trade.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I like that trade. Team's looking good, Jermaine. Let's see. Pick one flex full PPR. Miles Sanders, Godwin, Mostert, Puka. Okay, so we have to pick one flex here. That would probably be... Geez, we're going to get this wrong because there's so many options, but I will go Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I'm going Miles as well. Star Burks or Puka. What's up, Daniel Macy? How you doing, brother?
Macy, I had so much Puka on my taxis in Dynasty, and I'm kind of annoyed that he broke out already because I have to burn a taxi spot.
You have to burn a taxi spot. Me too, bro.
But at the same time, it's like, damn, this is incredible. I just didn't expect it to be this early.
Yeah, I have Puka as well in a bunch, and it's funny. It's funny that that's the case as well. What's the question here? Would you trade White and Javonte Williams for T? I feel like we answered this question before. Rachaad White and Javonte Williams. Running backs are JT, Brees, White. I mean, looking at your wide receivers or your running backs, I don't know if you should do that.
Yeah.
You have Javonte, JT, and Brees. I mean, Brees,
so if you lose Rachaad White and Javonte, you're starting Brees and Air.
Yeah, I mean, just doesn't seem like the best.
I don't think you're in a position to, because then your team would be left with Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor. You can't start Jonathan Taylor right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Jermaine, we're doing team grades, but at the moment it looks all right.
Yeah, it looks like a fine team. We can't break down teams on today's stream. I got Olave and CD as my 1 and 2. Should I go Waddle or Nakua? Waddle.
Lamar
Waddle.
too. I think we both go Lamar.
Yep.
Puka or Damian Pierce. I think Damian Pierce is a great start
Damian,
coming into
yeah.
this week. He's a must start here. Los Dobbins, should I grab Gus or Hill? You should grab Gus.
Gus is who we would go for.
Jerome Ford or Chuba. I'm going Jerome Ford. What's happening? Is Miles Sanders injured? Why are a lot of people asking about picking up Chuba or...
Well, I just think he had more involvement than I think people would have anticipated. But overall,
Okay.
I think I also would lean
Ford?
with Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford had, what was it, like 15 carries or something?
Yeah, he also had a lot of usage as well. And
He
once
was
again,
super inefficient, but had a ton of opportunities. But yeah, I would stick with Jerome Ford there.
having a big breakfast. Puka, Garrett Wilson. I mean, I have to go Garrett Wilson this week, but it's...
Yeah.
Should I trade DJ Moore for Garrett Wilson? I would rather have DJ Moore over Garrett Wilson at the moment, personally.
I'd rather
I'm
have
not sure.
Garrett there, actually.
Okay, that's fair.
I'd rather have Garrett. I think that, yes, DJ Moore is going to be the obvious target too, but oddly enough, I feel better about the target share for Garrett Wilson.
That's fair. That's
myself.
fair. And I think if Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, coaching up Zach Wilson on a week-to-week basis, I feel really confident in that as well.
Yeah.
But we need to see what that looks like. Eric Swift or Javonte. I think we both go Javonte there.
Yeah.
Drop Kmet or Kendrick Bourne for Musgrave or Ferguson. I'm keeping Cole Kmet and Kendrick Bourne at least for one more week. But if Kendrick Bourne kind of drops a goose, then maybe I'll pick up Ferguson if you need another tight end. But Cole Kmet had a good workload this week.
Yeah.
We're going Dalvin Cook there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I start Herbert or Fields. I mean, you start your stars, brother. Both of these guys need to be started.
Yeah, I'll go Justin Herbert, but I mean, both should be. This is why you don't draft two running backs early in a one.
Exactly.
Two quarterbacks early in a one quarterback league.
Yeah, I agree.
We do have a super chat, so we'll get to that straight away. Keep in mind, we'll only be live for like the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to answer everyone's questions, unfortunately. I dropped A-Chain Gibson for Puka. Kelly, thoughts? Yeah, I think I would do the same. I think I would do the same. I do think Devon A-Chain should be rostered, though. Devon A-Chain should absolutely be rostered. So keep that in mind. But yeah, those are moves I would also make myself. Okay, yeah, so again, only live for the next 5 minutes. So drop a super chat if you do want something answered straight away. Start Love or Geno. I think I'm still going Geno. I know that the offensive line is a problem. They're back to back in my rankings, so I don't think you can necessarily go wrong. But I'm leaning Geno barely.
Yeah, I would have to go there with the weapons there.
Fields or Goff, you go Fields. Yes, it is too early to panic trade anyone, Justin. Should I trade DJ Moore for Garrett Wilson? We already answered that. Puka or Christian Watson or Elijah Moore? It would be Watson if he plays, if not Puka for me.
Yeah, this one's close. I mean, I think I said I'm going Puka earlier. Or I'm going Elijah Moore, earlier. So I'll go Elijah Moore.
PPR, don't trust Madison against Philly start. So you have to choose one. If you had to choose one.
I think this is close between Sanders and Zay. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think I lean Zay, but it is close.
I would lean Zay as well.
Yeah.
Should I trade Lamar in London for Ridley? I have AR-15.
Lamar in London for Ridley.
I don't know.
In a one quarterback league, yes, absolutely. In a one quarterback league?
Yeah, one quarterback, sure. I think it's just, if this is super flex, I'm not necessarily. I mean, why would he be asking this question? I guess.
Yes.
I'll take the risk.
There's not even a risk. You win that trade.
Madison for James Cook. I personally would do that. I don't know if Zach would.
I'll keep Madison.
Dak for Daniel Jones, 1-for-1. Dak has a harder schedule. I mean, they both have hard schedules, but I'll go with Daniel Jones with the rushing upside.
Same.
I think.
We answered that one in super chat.
12-man super flex quarterbacks are Rodgers, Jimmy G, Bryce Young, and Joshua Dobbs. What two do you start going forward for next week?
Jimmy G and Bryce Young.
Exactly. Jimmy G and Bryce Young.
Close your eyes. Don't watch the games.
Richardson over Dak this week.
Yes, for me.
Okay, yeah. Zach and Mike, oh good. Swift or Javonte, we answered that. Really, for Amon-Ra, I'm still keeping Amon-Ra, but happy either way. I think it's a win. It's a win there.
That's very close, but I'll keep Amon-Ra too. I will say I have Ridley ranked ahead of Amon-Ra in my rankings this week. I think we answered this one.
Yeah, I
Sean
think you
dropped
did
a super chat. Start Dalvin or Khalil Herbert.
Also can move one of the two to reflect Addison. Start Dalvin or Khalil Herbert.
I'll go Herbert.
Yeah, I'm going Herbert there. Dalvin against this Jets defense is pretty scary.
Dallas, but yeah.
Sorry, Dallas. Yeah, excuse me. Elijah Moore, Sean, I would go.
Same.
Stevenson for Jacobs. I'm going Jacobs as much as I love Stevenson. Put a trade out there to get Bijan for Hurts, Pacheco, Pittman, and half PPR. Jalen Hurts, Pacheco, and Pittman. Starting receivers currently are Ayuk, Olave, Jefferson, and starting running backs as if. I mean, it all depends on who your quarterback is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give up Hurts. Yeah. MT Pierce for Walker, Gus, who wins. MT Pierce for Michael Thomas and Damian Pierce for Kenneth Walker and Gus.
I'll take Pearson Walker or Pearson Michael
Pearson
Thomas.
MT. Yeah.
So we have a super chat. Shout out to Filoni. What's up, man? Javonte versus Washington or Madison versus Philly? I'll go Javonte versus Washington.
I'm going Javonte as well.
Very close. I want Madison to succeed. I just don't like the matchup. I'm still very optimistic about Darren Waller, Jared. I don't think we can take any actionable advice away from last night's Sunday night game. What do you guys think about the Bills defense this week? They're a good play most weeks. Who do they play this week?
The
Buffalo
Bills
plays
play
the Raiders. So, yeah, they're a fine start.
I feel good about that.
Need a response ASAP. Drop a super chat then, man. 10-man PPR redraft league. Amon-Ra and Joe Mixon for Devontae Adams and James Cook. Please consider. I'll have Jonathan Taylor coming back at some point. Amon-Ra and Joe Mixon for Adams and Cook. No, I'll take Amon-Ra and Joe Mixon.
Amon-Ra and Joe. Yeah. I mean, I'm taking that as well. Akers or Dell or Chubb. I mean, I know
I'll go Akers there.
Akers doesn't have the best start or matchup, but I'm going Akers. Say Willer has a nerve issue on hamstring injury. Yeah, I mean, we got to wait and see what that looks like long term. But that could be a huge problem for Darren Waller.
Could be. Watson, James Cook for Jalen Hurts. I'll go Jalen Hurts there.
Yeah, I'm taking that as well. Depends on who you have on your team, Young.
It's like I always say to people, like, you know, if the question is broad like that, it's like how many flavors of drinks can you get at the Sonic drive-thru? You know, there's thousands. Okay, guys, we will only answer the next two questions. I'm sorry. It has been 2 hours. We said we would stop streaming right now. We're going over time to answer 2 more questions for you, so please keep that in mind. Start Drake London, Jerry Jeudy, Nico Collins. I'm going Nico Collins this week.
Nico Collins, huh? Yeah, same.
I just fleeced my cousin for Ridley. I love that.
Love that.
Jameer Gibbs doing anything big this week? He should definitely get more touches. That's it for today, guys. We did tell you we'd only be live until the top of the hour. So we appreciate you guys. Drop a like, subscribe if you want more of your question answered. Subscribe because we will be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will see you then. Enjoy the rest of your night. All love.